Hey everybody, it is topic video time. This week I asked you guys to just ask me anything, and here are your questions. Here we go. What's your favorite subgenre of 20th century classical music and why, i.e. minimalism, texturalism, etc.? That's a really good question. You know me very well. I would say I like just kind of experimental music of the 20th century, stuff that's like, Penderecki I'm a huge fan of, and Ligeti I'm a huge fan of. I've always just been really interested in pushing the idea of what music can be and kind of pushing the idea of what melody means. And I don't know, I've always been very drawn to kind of dissonant, kind of darker, kind of more uncomfortable areas of music that are more maybe cinematic. So I guess that's maybe why. And I also really love minimalism, depending on the composer. Of course, Philip Glass is somebody that I praise at times, and sometimes I'm not a huge fan of, but overall I think he's pretty brilliant in terms of what he's done for the movement. One of my favorite minimalist composers is John Adams. If you haven't heard him, I highly recommend him. And I would start with, he has a 4-minute piece. It's very short, and it's called Short Ride in a Fast Machine. For me, it's kind of the perfect appetizer, and it gives you just like a little taste of what he's about without giving too much away, because he does do some very unexpected things, I think, in his career. But yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, if you're into kind of 20th century music like that, I would definitely check him out. What is your diet and exercise regimen? I get this question all the time. Well, I don't really have a diet that I follow. I eat whatever I want. If I want to eat healthy, I'll eat healthy. If I want to eat like a double cheeseburger, then I'll eat a double cheeseburger or wings or whatever. So I'm pretty lucky in that I don't really have to watch what I eat. But I think part of it, at least, is maybe that I am very active and I do work out a lot. And when it comes to my workout, I run several times a week, 3 or 4 times a week. I do a lot of pull-ups every day. I'm sure you guys have seen that on Instagram. I really like upper body workouts because I think having a strong core is really important, especially for my mental health for whatever reason. So I work a lot on like crunches, and I do planks, sit-ups, workouts for my butt. I do squats. I also, even when I'm not working out, I'm still moving. I mean, honestly, my way of unwinding sometimes at night is just kind of dancing or doing like bar stretches because, I used to dance. Also, I'm kind of a bit of a contortionist, so I've been working on that. And even when I'm with my friends, we do a lot of hiking in the woods and exploring and swimming. So yeah, I'm just an active person. I like to move. It's important for my mental health. But yeah, that's an idea, a kind of a brief overview of some of the things that I do. What is your favorite musical performer in the golden age? Mine is Eleanor Powell, the greatest dancer ever. That's a really good choice and a really good question. I love Eleanor Powell. I think she's wonderful. And I think the dances that she did with Fred Astaire from a technical standpoint are some of the best. I really think they were perfect in terms of just they really fed off each other in terms of their dancing style. Maybe not so much in terms of emotional chemistry, but purely from a dancing point of view. For me, it's got to be Fred Astaire. I really think he is just kind of the quintessential idea of what dance is in film. Everything he does is just so light and airy and sophisticated, and it's always just enough. He never overdoes anything. There's a sense of timelessness and class just the way he looks and the way he carries himself, that he is really special. And as far as female goes, I would go Vera Ellen, actually. I think she's very underrated, but she was one of the more versatile performers of her time. She could do anything. She was a ballet dancer. She could do tap. She could do jazz. What musician that has never appeared in a film do you think would make a good actor or actress? That is such a good question, and that is an easy one for me. Kendrick Lamar. I've always thought he would be great just because in his rapping style, especially when you listen to like To Pimp a Butterfly, that album, he's able to adapt to so many different characters and different voices in a way that is really admirable, I think. And I think just when you watch his music videos, he has a sense of theatricality to him. He is a performer. And he's just got a darkness in his eyes and a power that I think would be really compelling and cinematic. He can do a lot with just a look. And even with the DNA music video where he was with Don Cheadle, there was just a lot there. So I know he's done a little bit of acting, but I've never seen him in a movie before, so I think he would be really good. Do you enjoy this? Ooh, that's heavy. Yeah, I mean, of course I do. It's a passion more. I don't really like to say that I enjoy it. It's more like a compulsion. Like I feel like I have to do it. I've always felt like I had to do this for whatever reason. When I was a little girl, I saw Siskel and Ebert when I was like maybe 7 or 8, and I'd be like, I could do that. I want to do that. I want to be up there with them. And so I just kind of fell into that. And I always feel like when I stop, something's not right in my life. So I've got to do it. Now, admittedly, the bigger you get in this, the more that there's a lot of expectation, the more people get angry, the more, people start having all these recommendations for you. And I will admit, it does kind of tarnish the innocence with which you can experience a film. Because there's a sense of, I don't want to say pressure, but it's just, people expect things from you because you're known for doing something. So that becomes the task for me. Each time it gets bigger, it's like, okay, how can I keep this fresh for myself? How can I keep my passion going? And that's interesting. And I still have it. So, that's, I think, what's most important. Can you do any impressions? Yeah. My brother and I both do. My brother's excellent at impressions. He gives me, for sure, a run for my money. But I do whoever I see. I've always picked up characters in movies. I do a good Bernie Sanders impression. I work on kind of weird impressions. I'm doing an Alicia Vikander at the moment. It's all up in the throat. But I'm not going to do that one because I'm not ready yet. But one of my favorites was always doing Katharine Hepburn, just because she just has a hilarious voice. It's just a strange sort of nasally mid-Atlantic accent. I do accents too, but I'm not going to do any of them because, like maybe if you gave me a few shots of tequila one night, I might do them, but I can't just do them on the spot. It's got to be organic. Not to sound self-righteous or virtuous, I'm honestly just curious, but you seem to be very pro-psychedelic drugs. Do you think that taking them have damaged/negatively altered your mind or emotional outlook in any significant way? Do you feel more enlightened? Any regrets? That's a really, really excellent question. And it is complicated. Yes, I've been very vocal about psychedelic drugs and how I think that they can help you and how they're important for stretching the mind. And it's done so many beautiful things for me. Honestly, I've learned more about my life through the experience of psychedelics, I think, than anything else. That being said, there have certainly been points in my life where maybe I have abused certain substances, and I've also been quite vocal about that. And I think that's the very important thing to distinguish. People talk about psychedelics as, just this incredible, brilliant, transcendent thing, and they are. But people, I think, neglect that they can also, if you're not careful, you can get too into it and you can lose yourself. And the whole point, I think, of doing that is to learn and take what you've learned and use it here, not let that become your new, way of escapism or your new reality. And there's a fine line. Anything can be addictive. Television can be addictive. Whatever it is that you're into, and I think, certain personality types just need to be very careful. People who are more kind of drawn to extremes like I am, people that are more emotionally sensitive, you just have to be careful with those substances. So I think whatever it is you're doing in your life, whether it's a hobby or whatever, it doesn't have to be, related to psychedelics. Just be sure you're doing it carefully and you're really paying attention to your body and what is right for you. The moment something feels like it is overpowering you, that's when it becomes bad. And when it comes to psychedelics, that's something you need to be aware of. But those are the questions. Thank you guys again so much for them. And we'll do this again. We'll do another one next week. Over here, you can see my Patreon supporters. The link to support is below. All my social media information is below that. You can watch more videos here and you can subscribe if you'd like. Catch you next time.